How long gone? This is not a joke. I just touched down, landed at LAX at 10 a.m., made it to Glendale by 10:30. Jason had a nice pour over ready for me, and now we're ready to get into this motherfucking podcast on the Lord's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. But let's dig into what a dad is. First of all, dog dad is not real.
Okay.
But
first of all, what's up, you guys? Them Jeans here. Happy Juneteenth.
Dad is your father, right? Like my dad is Gary L. Black. Your dad is kind of an unknown quantity. That is the I can't
unknown entity with unknown quantities.
I'm not gonna post. You can't post your husband and your new child. That's not your dad. That's a dad.
Okay.
That's not your dad.
This is a fine hair you split, but I like where your head is at. I mean, my argument for everything is everyone just needs an excuse to post something on social media. Ice cream day, pizza day, taco day, yummy.
Of course.
But I think that once you get a child with your husband, that you can celebrate Father's Day with that person, because
you can. You can celebrate it with them. You could take him out to lunch.
Okay.
You can do all that stuff since he provides for your family.
You can't hit on grid.
You don't need to put it on the internet.
Stories.
Look, I see a lot of chicks. I know. They got these hot husbands. Look, I want to see Alex Olsen with his shirt off with a baby just as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
But
get in line, ladies.
The rules have been broken, and I think we need to kind of. I think social media has caused us so many problems in the society. We need to kind of get back on course. In fact, I would advocate no posting at all, because if your parents use social media, they're losers.
Yeah, because the type of Twitter that I hang out on, GAY, it's for all of us to see photos of your hot, hairy-chested dad in 1984 or whatever it is, however old your daddy was at his hottest. Mm-hmm. It's for us to take a peep at that, back when men were men.
When men were men.
Before vaccines ruined.
Exactly.
Before everyone was autistic and had blue hair.
Exactly.
But now we all just need an excuse to post everything.
It's another reason to post.
We need a prompt.
But Father's Day is a classic holiday, and I just think that we could, I think maybe taking your dad to a nice steakhouse, getting him a glass of whiskey, maybe a Budweiser, Bud Heavy.
Not no light shit,
and really talking about what it's like to be a man. That's how you celebrate Father's Day. Shooting some guns, riding some four-wheelers. If you hunt, do whatever you got to do. Go to church, but
get 9 holes in. Shit.
But I'll tell you what, taking your dad over to Courage Bagels, that ain't how it was intended. That ain't what we're supposed to do.
Take a photo with Elliot on your shoulders as you wait in line at Courage.
That's exactly what. That's all social media is.
Are you guys all out of the cream, the cashew cream? Oh, you are. Oh, Elliot.
I just love.
That one.
It's also, I love this because I'm a part of this problem as well. But like a Father's Day gift guide type thing, and I see it, and I'm like, so you're telling me that I should get my dad a Missoni blanket? That's what you think I should get my dad? Like, let's be real, guys. Like, how many gay dads are there? Like, there's only so many. Like, it's a small. Like, I just don't. I see these gift guides.
Even gay people are too manly to use a blanket.
My dad doesn't. My dad would be like, "Don't give me a gift, you nerd." I don't. What do you? No, leave me alone. My dad just wants. Most dads
get that mess out of here.
Most dads just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
My dad's on vacation. My parents are on vacation right now. So happy Father's Day, Gary. You're a great dad, and I'm very glad I didn't get my height from you. And I don't even want to call him because I'm like, that's gonna annoy him because he's at the beach hanging out.
You're gonna call him and say Happy Father's Day, and he's gonna say, "Stop capping on me, son."
He might not. He doesn't answer his cell phone on the weekends, really, because if it's not work related, he doesn't care. So I can't.
Even if it's his one baby boy.
Maybe. I can't even really text him because he doesn't respond well to that.
So you call him on a Sunday, even if it is Father's Day, he's going to be like, "Oh, what is it, boy? Do I need to bail you out of jail again? What's going on? What have you gotten yourself into this time?"
I'm not loaning you any more money. Mm-hmm. No, I'll call him later.
I told you we can't extend with the IRS any further. It's just as many as we can push.
Look, I've talked to him. I've called him. We've emailed. Yeah, I'll give him a call later. But I just don't.
Father's Day for me is a good time to learn of all the people who are the types of mommies to post their cool 32-year-old hot husband who still skates a little bit on the weekends, still keeps it together, etc. All those fellas who maybe not in the picture a ton, and then the silence is deafening. With the lack of dada posts.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all telling, and having a child is obviously a huge mistake, and people are going to continue to do it. Even younger and younger, older and older. It's not slowing down. I feel like people are constantly searching for meaning, and they think that having a child and being fiscally and physically responsible for that child for 18 years will solve their problems. But I'm just here to say, maybe if you stopped drinking, you worked out a little more, you wouldn't need to have a kid.
Damn, okay, straight edge.
I'm just saying. Maybe if you made a little more money, you wouldn't need to have a kid. You'd get your happiness from something that's much more shallow.
Yeah, that's the thing that I learned. Like when we were in Lake Como, there was a family there getting married. It was probably the worst. It was the only other couple that was clearly from LA or a rich part of New York.
Are you saying that because it was a white guy and an Asian woman, or
Jewish guy, and then maybe a kind of a mixed Latinx?
Oh,
kind of like
that sounds New York.
It does. Yeah, I guess it could go either way. They had 3 kids, and each kid had their own nanny.
Yeah, that's the only way to have kids. You have to be that rich so that doesn't change your lifestyle at all.
Each kid had their own color corresponding iPad that matches their plateware, that matches their fork, and they can't use any of the forks that
they're eating the $40 cacio e pepe at Villa d'Este out of the plastic bowl from home from Amazon.
Yeah, while they're watching, an iPad of like a woman being like, "Hey, how are you?" Like,
damn,
it was fucked, and the whole entire restaurant of European people are looking at them like, "This is you people are a disgrace. You people have ruined my brunch."
I mean, the amount of brunches that have been ruined by children, it's insurmountable. The amount I can't count that high.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of stay home. That's why I avoid Courage.
So, but all that is to say, it's more than just throwing money at the problem, because you can do that, but then you will be gazed upon by the eyes of everyone else, your peers, as an inferior parent,
that's true.
A fucking pussy ass parent doing it the wrong way.
There's no win.
You throw a white passing on top of it?
There's no
oh brother.
There's no win unless your child becomes rich and famous and can support you in your twilight years. That's the only upside.
Truly is. And I think that was the only reason why people kind of procreated during centuries of human existence on this world.
Do you know how excited my parents would be if I would have gotten into the Mickey Mouse Club? Things would have been different for us.
Meaning like literally, or is that like one of your slangs for something else?
No, we didn't. I didn't try out or anything. But I'm just saying,
you only did mouth?
because of our age. I could have been.
Yeah,
Timberlake. I could have been Gosling.
Shoulder to shoulder with Goss.
Yeah, I could have been up there singing and dancing. I could have gotten my drug addiction over with really early.
Chops.
I have the chops. I mean, Timberlake can sing, I guess, but like he can't really dance as well as I can.
Hey, you're like the Ken of podcasting. If that makes you feel any better.
It feels good to be back in LA, Jason. Even though it's overcast, New York has run me raw. I'm feeling.
Was it that Jacquemus dinner? The last domino to fall before the whole thing
I didn't
tumbled?
get an invite to the cursed Jacquemus.
That's why all y'all were hating on Twitter. You didn't get the invite.
Dime Square.
Can't get in.
I didn't hate on the dinner. I
wasn't talking about you.
There could have been a better place to do that, and I think also eating outside in New York is disgusting. Except
roaches and rats. Unless you're at
Fort Charles.
In
the air conditioned ADU. I'm not eating on a
curb.
Slice
my hamburger for me.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. And I just think I think that should have been flagged as maybe. First of all, the Jacquemus Nike collaboration is so bad.
Yeah.
And it gets worse. And I don't know this to be I don't think
what do you mean it gets worse? Like as more of the collection reveals itself,
he just
it gets worse?
It's just not I understand why it happened, because he was really hot probably 4 years ago when they signed the deal, and then
those Nike gears move slowly.
It's just not good product.
In a good way. We love our Nike family.
Yeah, I mean, Nike's the greatest thing. Nike's the greatest brand in the world. That's why I'm so hard on them.
It takes a long time to turn a big old boat around.
No, but I think it was COVID. I think it's like, all right, COVID happens, and it's this. And Jacquemus is a master of marketing, but I think the product, when it's like sexy dresses
and lat pulls too
for $800,
yeah,
that's his zone. Mm-hmm. I think like sneakers, I think he like has. I can't
wear that shit on the resort, even on the tennis court. Is boo boo.
I just don't think he's the guy for it. But
when you say for it, you mean collaborating with Nike?
I don't think of Jacquemus as a guy who can make an athletic leaning sneaker. I think he's touched by God. Him and his husband are very good looking and probably don't have to do much to get that. And
right.
those lats kind of were given to him.
Yeah.
And I think
he has a nepo body.
Yeah, he has a nepo body, but I just don't think that I just don't think he's like he's
definitely one of those guys that like works out in like Chuck Taylors. Like he would never wear like some goofy ass sneakers with like.
And that's what's cool
technology.
about him is he's like those guys at that level are so committed to being like I live like this. Like this is it. Like you have to live like this. But I think that he I don't think we need it. That's the problem. I just don't think we need it.
Yeah, the market for those two things crossing over.
Well, what Jacquemus is, how I describe his brand at this stage is kind of like a more expensive Reformation. It's like hot girls like
one of
it.
The meanest things I've ever heard.
No, it's not mean. It's good business. It's like a price point dress that is like sexy, and I can wear it to a wedding or like a special thing, or I could wear it out with the girlies.
There's a little cutout. I can show you my under titty Rihanna tattoo,
but
whatever it may be.
$700 or $800 instead of $300 or $400, so it makes it appeal to like.
So I'm just a little bit better than yours.
A different person, exactly. And I think that's. But obviously his marketing is better, etc. But I think Reformation was very successful for a reason. It was because like
still is.
Yeah, it's marketing. It's not. I mean, the product is the product.
A longer line than the rice pudding spot.
But yeah, it's a sad day to eat outside in Dime Square, even though they've turned it into Lil Europe, and you can eat
Lil Europe.
That's what they call it. That's what I call it. Lil Europe. You can eat
featuring Yeet.
You can eat your Les Dives oysters in a nice piece of gravel in front. It's crazy over there. It really is. Like Nine Orchard is so beautiful, but like the thought of like my parents staying in Dime Square is like I can't do that to them. Like that's the night. It's probably the nicest new hotel in New York. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
But like
what, 700 a night, 600
at least. But you got to be under 40 to stay there.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just Emil. That's it. He's the only one who stays there.
Emil's actually. I'm just. You know what? I live here now. Fuck this, man. I'm moving in. No, Emil got a beautiful new apartment actually. I haven't been.
Is it finally done with the remod?
Yeah, I haven't been yet.
Damn. Okay, tapping in a month when we go to the Carlisle.
Yeah.
Tickets are available. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the Carlisle thing. I really appreciate you guys thinking we're like monster idiots for doing that, but you have to understand kind of how business works. And this was brought to us as an opportunity to perform at one of the most iconic venues in New York City. I wasn't really worried about selling tickets to that. That's not really my. Obviously, we are coming back and doing shows in New York and LA this fall. Obviously, we're doing that. Those have been booked for months, and we will announce them when the time comes.
It's not obvious to anyone but us. But
yeah. I just mean I wouldn't do that. We love New York.
Fret not.
We love to sell tickets in New York. I want everybody to come enjoy the show, obviously. This just isn't that kind of opportunity. It's a small room.
You go to In-N-Out, we're obviously going to have a cheeseburger. It's just obvious, you guys.
Exactly. But we will be back in New York in the fall, and we're very excited about the Carlisle, and I'm glad that we can do something like that uptown. We don't make it up there very often. So I'm hoping Jason can kind of behave.
How far up is it?
It's like in the 70s, I think.
Oh, it's close to the park, right?
Yeah, it's like 70. I can't remember actually. I can't remember. Last time I went there was for Hamilton, and it's sick. For Ham.
Forgot you went to Hamilton.
Hamilton Lifehouser, not Hamilton the musical.
Oh.
Actually, I was talking about this with who was I talking about Broadway with? People who like are involved. Oh, with the Bear guys, and they're just like, Josh Senior, one of the producers, was explaining to me how Broadway works and how you make money, and it's just insane. It's like insane. Like if we were to put
Chris, tell me how Broadway works. Broadway.
No, I'm saying if you and I were to be like, all right, we're gonna do How Long Gone on Broadway, we would link up with the producer. The producer has to rent the theater. Like the producer has to like pay to rent the venue.
Some union shit
for like 6 months.
Big time union.
And that's why you got to do 8 shows and 2 on Sunday. You got to do 2 on Sundays because it's like, and the advertising, like all the it's like just really. I had no idea how crazy it was.
It's like how the Olympics are, where it's like whoever controls it is very controlling. It has to be done in this certain way. And that certain way also involves an exchange of a fuck ton of money.
It's just so much. I didn't realize.
And that's the only way to do Broadway only.
What Josh was explaining to me, which also makes so much sense, is he's like, there's one street called Broadway. there's X amount of theaters that can be Broadway. Like that's it. There's only so many. So if they're rented, you got to wait, you got to pay more, whatever it is. Like you can't just otherwise
there's
it's
a
off
scarcity.
Broadway, which no tourist wants to see off Broadway.
Yeah, I mean it's funny when you're saying like there's only one Broadway, and I'm thinking about the one in LA where it's like there's only so many tents on the sidewalk that you can fit on Broadway.
There's only one place you can step over human feces to purchase some Aesop soap, and it's Broadway, downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, I walk into the Aesop store. I'm like, do you guys have anything to get this blue tucky dust off of my hands? Somebody just walked past me and I got tuckied up.
Do you guys have any? I have like a wound. It's kind of open. If you guys have anything for that, that'd be really helpful.
You got a little light urge. You guys kind of look like a Higi hospital here.
God, that's so funny, dude.
We were talking to our friend Yayo a couple days ago, and he was mentioning the Easton Gym having urinals that had a mirror.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you go see like the Grateful Dead play, and they have a screen over the drummer, so you can see all the So the fellas can take a peek, and then you mentioned that upstairs there's a separate bathroom for straight guys.
Yeah, well, I have never gone into the locker room at Easton because I don't shower at the gym because I'm an adult and I like to have all my nice stuff at home.
I just showered at the gym.
You love showering
because I'm just a kid at heart, y'all.
No, I just don't. Honestly, no. If I had to, I would obviously, but I am lucky enough that I'm never.
Sure.
I just go home, but. There is a single stall, but you said for Pride to kind of help celebrate.
We're balls deep in Pride right now.
So for Pride, I should go use the locker room at Easton and let the fellas have a peek.
I was saying that the straights only bathroom, they should close that off for Pride.
Not for Pride. It's just we're doing maintenance, scheduled maintenance.
No.
You want to make it obvious.
Yeah, you don't want the doggy to shit on the carpet again. You got to rub their nose in it.
Okay.
Teach them a lesson and be like, hey, if you want to be a member of Easton Gym, a gym that's like, it's not a gay gym, but it's not. If you want to be able to hang here, it's sort of like you're on our turf a little bit. Play a little ball.
Play
at
long.
least
I'm worried.
During Pride, let us be able to look at your dick while you pee. All we ask.
That's all we ask.
These are the. It's only this is my WGA.
It's
strike.
only 1 month a year. That's what I was going to say. I'm kind of worried.
Boy, is it a long June.
I'm worried about going back this week because of the strike. I feel like there's not going to be a machine left because nobody's got to work. So
that's right.
I'm worried that all the actors, all the producers, all the directors, all the grips, the best boys. I mean,
I was talking to my brother about this a couple days ago, and he was saying certain restaurants in LA have been hit pretty hard in terms of business going down for like industry joints.
Yeah.
People, I'm sure Jar is probably taking a little bit of a hit right now because all these people who go to these industry, insider restaurants, they're at Chipotle pinching their pennies because we're on strike.
God. And
isn't that crazy?
And I mean, thank God for us because the podcast industry, there's been some rumblings lately. And I think that I
didn't know that. What kind of rumblings? More layoffs at Spotify.
Well,
stuff
Spotify,
like that?
Spotify's laying people off. Anchor's gone, but the big one
Bill Simmons said.
Bill Simmons is coming at these fucking losers.
These royal losers.
He's coming at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle because they just got dropped from their Spotify deal for basically not turning any work in. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing as if you sign a record deal and you just never turn in the record, you're gonna have to give the advance back. Mm-hmm. I actually saw a great story today about Lorde staying at the Park Hyatt in New York during the entire run of her like first album and her not realizing how expensive it was and her being like, yeah, I kind of spent like the whole advance at the Park Hyatt in New York. I just lived there. I'm like, that's the coolest possible way to blow it. That's so
great
cool.
Way to blow it. I feel like that's a managerial call out that wouldn't.
I feel like when things are going so well at that stage, you're probably like, sure, whatever you want, babe.
Yeah, don't want to rush the genius.
But so I think that all of these big dogs getting their podcast taketh away is only good for us middle class podcasters. Us,
the non-celebrity hosted,
Yeah, because
non-podcast
I did
that have
finally. I'm sure you guys have had
58
time now.
employees.
Have you watched I haven't watched the John Early special yet. I'm gonna do that tonight because it's
gonna watch
out.
it tonight.
It's out right now. He can't promote it. We can. John Early special, HBO Max. Go watch it. One of the greats. He wears leather pants. A man after my own heart.
Love my team over there.
Love
Max.
love all those guys over at Max. But I think you guys have probably had a chance to watch the Smartless thing that Jason had teased, and I finally watched it in a moment of weakness because I want to recommend Summer House Martha's Vineyard. It's the black Summer House, even better than the white one. But the Smartless special it truly is the first 20 minutes where they're kind of getting on the PJ to fly to DC for their gig. It hit too close to home. It was literally Jason and I with money and a gay friend. It's like me and Jason and Andrews is on the plane with us. That's literally what it felt like.
If Andrews wasn't funny, but yeah. If Andrews wasn't funnier than us.
Andrews pulls a little more weight than that. But I was just like, damn, I am Jason Bateman, and I'm talking about my diet, and Jason is Will Arnett, who's like hungover and drives up in the Porsche and is like, stop being a pussy. I'm like, this is literally us, but these guys are so rich. I still haven't listened to the podcast, but the question that we've debated here at How Long Gone headquarters, which means on text message, is are they breaking even, losing money, or making money when they're flying private to play small theaters?
Like 1,000 caps, maybe at the most.
So, or do you think they were
Your
like,
local Orpheum?
We're going to take this money, we're going to sell this to HBO, so we're going to put that money in our pockets. That's where we make the money. We'll break even on this, and this will be fun for us? Or do you think these guys find, the way we find it fun, do you think they find it fun? Or do you think they're like, this is just another thing we got to do?
Well, I think since they already have several millions and millions of dollars before they even got the Amazon deal, which made tens of millions and millions of dollars.
I think they got 80 to 100 from Amazon.
Right. And they already had millions before. Yes. Like, what's his name? Sean Hayes, the gay one. Like, he was making crazy TV residual money back when you really could. Like, he already had so much money. So, and they're all super paid. I sort of think Will Arnett listens to How Long Gone. So this is a bat signal sending out to you, Will.
Why do you, this is a classic Jason conspiracy theory. Why do you think celebrity podcaster, actor, producer, ex-husband of Amy Poehler listens to How Long Gone?
It's just it's a feeling, baby.
Okay. It's a gut thing for you.
Well, because I listen to a lot of podcasts,
sure,
and I edit a lot of our podcasts.
Not a lot, Jason. All actually, it's funny.
So I have a built-in database. My little kind of stony computer is always cooking, and I'll hear little things in some podcasts that will be references to the way that we talk.
Okay,
and I've heard Will mention a few little kind of hidden Easter eggs that are signaling to me. So
Will call Sean Hayes a stick man? And it kind of.
I don't have any examples at all.
No, I understand. You just feel it. I get it. I don't think that's out of the question.
I don't think it's out of the question.
I don't think that's out of the question. Will Arnett is cool. He seems to be tapped into the streets.
Love Will Arnett. He's hilarious.
I guess him and
He's
Bateman
amazing.
go way back, and they've had a production company together and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like they birthed this, and they were like, we need a gay guy. Like.
Yeah, it's all smart. It's all there. It's perfect. I mean, it is just if we had access to, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell and Jennifer Aniston.
I just find that to be. I find that to be like.
But they worked hard to get in that position.
Absolutely. Oh, totally. But I also just don't think
there's
that doesn't sound. I have to be honest with you. It doesn't sound as fun to me.
No, it's not. But the thing is, if it was just the three of them bullshitting each other, busting each other's balls, like once a week, just do that, and then the other one you can do fucking.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston returns.
Yeah, whoever it is, or whoever that person's doing. Bill Hader or President Joe Biden, whoever it is. I mean, it's a cool idea. It's a good idea. But if it was just them busting each other's balls, that's what people really want to hear.
I think the idea of but I also think the idea of like. Not A-list celebrities, but major, well-known. Like those guys have all three of those guys have been in our lives for 20 years, like in some regard, if not longer. Yeah. So hearing those guys bust each other's balls in an authentic way would be absolute gold.
Yeah.
As soon as you bring in an A-list celebrity, I don't care how good of friends you are, if they know how to behave.
Yeah.
They're not lifting the lid off.
It's true.
They're too smart. And that's what I'm saying. I think it would be like.
And they know how big it is.
Yeah.
No, like I'm not just doing my friend's little
Like that's why
backyard
I
pod
like
cart.
where we're at is satisfying to me because people will still let it spray, and also are like, I know people listen to this, but like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? It's just not a. It's not.
I'll take my licks if I get them.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. But I did. It did. I had to turn it off. Thank God for Summer House Martha's Vineyard. But I just
It was an odd glimpse. It was like the Ghost of Christmas Future kind of.
I was just like,
vibe of
damn, these guys are really. This is exactly what we want to be doing. I didn't watch any of the because it goes into performance. I'm sure, right? Like it shows.
Yeah, it's
the
like
show.
half of the episode is them traveling and their little idiosyncronicities and their fun esoteric lifestyles, and then they go on stage. And, ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 blah.
Do you think they're rehearsing or writing anything, or do you think it's?
I don't think so, no.
So you think it's straight up like live podcast? Like
it is a general or a genuine surprise when they bring their surprise guest on. Like one person knows and the other people truly don't know until
That's
it's
cool.
revealed, which is, it kind of has to happen that way. But then when it is that way, you have to just kind of riff and be like, remember that one time when you were in The Hangover? That was so dope.
Well, the thing with them too is it's not like they need help selling tickets. They don't need an opening act. They don't need a big guest. It doesn't matter. Like,
but yeah, I think if it's 1,000 cap room and they're selling out and they're probably doing a Q&A or a meet and greet thingy afterwards, I don't see it being possible for them to make more than $100,000 per show.
No, and I'm sure they're bringing. I'm sure they have a tour manager and merch guy. I'm sure it's like a whole thing.
It's a whole team.
I'm sure it's a whole thing.
They travel with the production team. They're flying private. They're staying in massive hotel suites.
Yeah, the part where they're walking through the Four Seasons, Georgetown, DC. I'm like, okay, guys, relax. We know the hotel room has 4 rooms in it. I understand now. It's quite spacious.
I didn't know that, but I know that now. And they're having their meals delivered to them.
No, but
they're living in a.
I get why it's so popular because I'd never listened to it. It never really clicked with me before, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's because they're so famous that you know them, but they're not so famous that you don't believe them. If that makes sense. Like I believe that they're behaving within reason. I guess it closely resembles their real selves.
They're offering enough of an authentic version of their real selves.
Exactly.
It's still controlled, but within the reasons of their celebrity level.
Yeah, I don't think they're not. It's not like a full you are a celebrity. You are programmed. Hi, I am Jennifer Aniston. Drink smart water. Friends. It's pretty reasonable, and I think that's just what we crave.
Of course,
especially I think now that reality entertainment is entertainment. Like I saw the stats. Like there was somebody posted the stats of the Vanderpump Rules, the reunion thing, and it's staggering. It's giant, way bigger than I ever.
You got any numbers?
I don't.
You got the Scandival?
The Scandival thing, list? Yeah. Because I was talking. Yeah, hold on. I do have the numbers.
Did it break Succession's 2.3 million?
Definitely.
Just kidding.
I was talking to a friend, Sophia Rossi, and we were talking, and she's like, part 1 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion was the most watched episode of any Bravo show in 9 years. VPR is the most watched cable series of 2023 across all networks in the 18 to 49 demographic. Ooh. Part 3 had the highest first day Peacock viewing of any NBCU show ever. More than 115 million total hours of season 10 have been watched across all platforms.
Damn, brother.
That is just, that to me though is
some LeBron numbers.
It's LeBron numbers, but that to me almost explains something like Smartless being so popular in some ways versus Succession. Actual numbers. Yeah. Succession is complete fantasy, circle jerk, blah blah blah. And the 40 people that work at Condé Nast want to debate it online. That VPR, a fucking guy that works at a restaurant has a cover band cheating on his chick with fillers who works at a restaurant. That's what we want.
It's relatable.
I think what we want from celebrities now has changed. I think we want Smartless. I don't think we want other stuff. Right. I think that's the best version of that's the type of access to celebrities we want.
And I mean, and that's why Joe Rogan is still
totally.
number one, and why every month you hear about a new talk show on television being canceled.
It's better than it's like. I mean, we were in a dark spot, and we did watch one episode of Kendra from the
oh my God,
Playboy show has like a real estate show. And I was like, we have to watch. Let me watch because I just can't believe this is on. This is getting promoted to me. I believe it's on HBO. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, this is I don't want to watch. This isn't like, this is so bad that it's not like Vanderpump Rules. People are invested in it because it's been on for so long, but it's also like actually pretty entertaining. Mm-hmm. Like this is like watching a brain dead former Playboy bunny give people a tour of a $5 million house in Encino and like stumble through it. Like I'm all set. I want to watch Jason Bateman talk about his meal prep. Like I can't, there's no, like that in between is not what we want.
Yeah.
It's not what we want.
Damn, bro. You summed it up, and we just need to keep riding in that nice little middle class. We have to promise ourselves if we ever get as famous as them, we still offer our full, true, authentic selves, and we don't hinder our true core being.
Well, I think what happened, I think the beauty of aging, besides obviously the wisdom that we both possess deeply, is the fact that you've done something long enough and you understand how it works long enough where it's like it's a little hard. I think if you have any self-awareness, it's much harder to become a total monster dumbass at 40, at 45.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's why people, if you look back on, when like the Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, like Britney Spears era of fame, they were like 22.
Yeah.
Like,
and they turned out fine, right?
Yeah. No, I'm saying, of course you're going to be fucking insane at 22 if you're rich and famous and on drugs. Like, of course. But I think we're actually at a stage now where because of the different mediums, I think people are able to gain success and recognition at an older age.
Praise the Lord.
But
thanks to the internet.
I think it's the internet, but I also think it's because it's the way society has changed and how we're not allowed to prioritize looks in the same way that we were.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, think about what those three, like, they were hot. That was it. Like, you are fucking hot. Like, Britney Spears had fucking hits, don't get me wrong, but like the basis of that whole thing was how hot they look, can we see titties, who are they having sex with? And that is not really okay anymore. Like, that's not, you can't lead with that, at least.
You can try, but it won't have the legs. It'll be canceled season one like The Idol.
But I think that's why The Idol is causing so much uproar, is because The Idol is literally The Weeknd. I mean, that's based on Selena Gomez, is what most people think, because that's his ex-girlfriend.
Spoiler.
But I think it's based on Selena Gomez and like a combination of like that Britney Spears era. You know what I mean? And people that is what everything looked like. That was our entire pop culture landscape.
Not too long ago. And now it's like, this is too much. It's too vulgar. It's too crazy. And it's like, well, it's not good, but it's not too crazy. It's moving too quickly, exponentially.
I mean, I love it. And I bet that I could see it getting a season 2 if The Weeknd was down to do it.
I already read that it's not going to be picked up.
I know you read that, and I read that too, but I think that this is...
Take what Pop Crave says with the grain of salt.
I mean, Pop Crave is the motherfucking Bible, don't get it twisted. I just think that... I think it's people like it. I think everyone wants to say they hate it, but they're all watching it. And obviously, they're not watching it as much as they need to be based on the ratings. But like, I don't know. I could just see it turning.
It could be fall sleeper hit by the end of the season.
It's a good. I love it. Like,
just
I think
a good
it's
show at the end of the day, brother man.
It's not a good show, but that's not a good enough reason not to watch it, if that makes sense.
I still haven't begun yet.
I understand that. By the way, speaking of television, I did dip into Jury Duty.
Oh, nice.
And it's good. I love it. Really smart idea.
It's
like
good.
James Marsden's so good. It's really good.
You got to do the other two next.
Him getting him when he gets the private bailiff.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are gonna have so much fun when he gets into the Escalade with his private bailiff and they have to stay at like a hotel. I was like, damn, this is good stuff. This is really funny.
It's well done.
It's really funny. What's it on Hulu?
It's on like a weird. It's on.
Oh, it's like
Freevee.
Oh yeah, but it's on like Amazon.
You can get it through Amazon. Yeah, shit's funny as hell.
Anyway, well, we do have a great show today. We did the rare we recorded early for a special guest, someone that's very close to my heart, and I was like, this all
alternative sweetheart
came together. Liz Phair, who you probably know, her classic album Exile in Guyville, but she also has a great book that's out, a memoir that came out like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But she's doing a 30th anniversary tour of Exile in Guyville with a friend of the show, Blonde Shell, opening. I'm going to go to a few of those. I can already tell you right now. And
but yeah, it's a great chat with her. She's a fun, amazing sport. She's funny. She has a great attitude, and
that's what I was going to say.
She's a damn pro.
You just gotta the attitude that someone like her has is the dream. Like you've had so much success. You've had like some ups and downs. You got the perspective and the ability to like really laugh at yourself and just be kind of kooky and not give a shit is something that
we kids.
Yeah, we should all take note of. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and she's gotten that far and had that great attitude without relying on drugs and alcohol to put her in that mental state. She's just like. That was my only like biggest take back after finishing editing the interview was like she just has a very good attitude.
Yeah, she's just cool. She
especially juxtaposed next to yours. You're on your best behavior with her, of course.
I was.
Your standard walking around attitude.
Oh, terrible! Yeah. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, the book is called Horror Stories. It came out in 2019. Get that, Exile in Guyville. I believe the tickets are on sale now. She's coming to all the major cities.
Stream her music on Spotify.
Yeah, it was
Apple.
Thank you to
Deezer, Queezer, Tidal, SoundCloud.
Thank you to our friend Shira for kind of putting this bug in the head and connecting me with Liz's manager. And yeah, How Long Gone? Tickets for Toronto go on sale Tuesday, the 19th. We are at the Great Hall on July 28th. We can't wait to be back in the...
Actually, today's Monday the 19th.
Oh, Monday the 19th. I'm sorry. Tickets go on sale today, Monday the 19th. And we will see you guys in Toronto and more to come.
Toronto, New York, London, Copenhagen. We know that it's...
And by the way, all you... look, I know I fucked up. I know that Dutch means Amsterdam, and I apologize for that. But also, you get why that happens. Like, come on, guys.
Typical Americans.
It's not, I mean, how different are we? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't expect somebody in Copenhagen to know the difference between Boise and Eugene.
I dare one of you Danes to come down to Tennessee and be able to identify the Memphis twang versus the Nashville twang. We'll see how that goes.
Or even one of the Great Lakes of America.
Oh, you don't know a single damn lake. That's a great point, Jason. You motherfuckers don't know. You think you got lakes over there? We got great ones here, bro.
Yeah, I was just in Como. When was the last time you were over here in Superiore? Superiore, Lago Superiore.
Yeah, but thank you guys for listening to How Long Gone. Thank you to Liz for joining us, and we are back. Let me look at the calendar, Jason. Let me just check it out.
We're just cruising today.
I don't even know what we got next week,
Cutting
bro.
into my faux time right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, okay. Good week.
Okay.
Good week next week.
Is this one where we have our author?
It's an author, but it's also a good friend, a new friend of mine who stars in a show that comes out this week.
Yeah.
Season 2 coming soon. Can't wait to talk to him. I had a nice afternoon with him the other day.
He's a known bread maker.
I met his daughter.
Oh,
which was great.
Cute.
It was great.
Okay, so we have an actor and then the author of the book of the summer.
The hottest book of the summer, according to New York Magazine's approval matrix. Which this isn't just us saying that because the book is amazing. I read it in an afternoon.
Yeah.
But anyway, How Long Gone? Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Liz, do you have an engineer in the room with you? Because that's where I'm trying to get kind of
my
level
son.
wise.
I have my son who's hiding. Do you want to say hi? No, he doesn't want to.
Please
say
come.
Hi.
He doesn't want to say hi.
Come say hi. No, he does not want to come say hi.
Oh, Mr. Phair, come on.
Your son doubles as an intern / sound guy at the house. Is that what we're learning?
That's what he learned over pandemic. We had people teaching him, like my band would teach him how to set the whole thing up. He was engineering.
Wow.
We weren't finished with the record when the pandemic happened, so we were still recording.
I'm glad that he learned something in the pandemic because I didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
I got into pretty good shape, I will say, but I didn't pick up any new skills. I will say that. I'll say
No
that.
bread making, no bread starter.
Hell
you
no.
know?
That was my least favorite one.
The starter died. That's how he neglected it.
I started. I just really. Did you make bread? Did you make bread, or were you just recording?
No, I did the bread. I recently learned how to make bread.
How recent are we talking, Liz? You're on a delay over there a few years. No, I mean it's funny you say that because literally this morning my wife and I were doing our morning walk, and we're like, should we start making our own bread? Should the
Is now the time?
Because a friend of ours, an artist named Chloe Wise, who was on this podcast a little while ago, she makes bread all the time, this focaccia, and she's like, yeah, like all I do is eat this bread that I make myself, and like she said that she's in great shape and great health, and like she lost weight eating this bread that she made herself, and she thinks that it's because the bacteria that's in the air of her home is recycling into the bread and the starter, and it's creating this life cycle that allows you to eat as much bread as you want and you actually lose weight. So my wife and I were like, yeah, maybe I should find a starter and start making weight loss bread.
Do you think your bacteria is, so what kind of bread are you making, Liz? And what's the bacteria content, you think?
Mine was cottage cheese bread. I was scrolling through Instagram, Instagram where they do that thing and they like, listen to the crust, crunch, crunch.
Sure.
And you're like, gotta have it. Like, gotta have it.
Okay, so you're making TikTok bread, not...
Okay.
I'm making TikTok bread. I'm for sure. But I felt so stupid when I got the iron cast thing, like the heavy bread thing. I bought it, and it came in a package that was like thunk. And I opened it up and I was like, oh, and it's like a bread thing.
It's a big bastard.
I held this like 17th century tool and just felt so stupid. I was like,
what is it? Hold on.
Idiot.
I need you to.
And then I made this bread and it was amazing.
Oh shit. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. So look out.
You said cottage cheese bread. I don't know what that is. So if you could kind of explain that to me, because I'm from the 20th century. So if you could just kind of take us back, that'd be really great. I'm not a history buff.
Let me tie my bonnet.
Yeah, please
first.
get your bonnet in order before you explain.
I don't want to show you my hair.
This is today we have Liz Phair from Downton Abbey on How Long Gone today. She's showing gifts from the hearth.
I'm a downstairs person. I'm not an upstairs person. I'm a downstairs person.
Oh, a fellow watcher. I like what I hear. No, but Chris, can you actually explain what cottage cheese bread is to Chris and also maybe to me?
Chris has never made it. I have made it. I'm the cottage cheese expert here on this panel.
Yes, you are.
It is 8 egg whites.
Oh shit! She's just gonna. The recipe is already memorized.
You made it one fucking time, and all of a sudden you're an expert.
480 grams of sifted flour go into a mixing bowl.
So well, it was so delectable. Like I am an expert. I am a
egg whites.
A bread
8
fairy.
egg whites. Okay.
8 egg whites.
So
which was really fun. I didn't let peer pressure rush me. I really took my time. And then cottage cheese, and you blend that up in a blender.
You whip it up? Whip it up in your mixer?
Just shut up. I'm not telling you this. The most important reason why your friend is losing weight is because she has to knead the dough, which is really hard. I was jumping up on the counter. I was like, oh.
So you're saying your forearms, you're getting even a little lower body activation with the jumping.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So this bread, okay, so the bread actually includes cottage cheese. I thought maybe that was just a turn of phrase, and that was something that maybe something I didn't understand. But you're saying you put cheese in the bread, the egg whites and cheese mixed together, and that is the base for a loaf of bread, is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
But also, Chris, we can't really call cottage cheese a cheese. It's more of a dairy byproduct, just to let you know.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Think of it as more in the yogurt family than in the cheddar family.
Okay, I was thinking
for a
that.
layman out there.
I mean, visually, I can put that together. I'm not that stupid. But is the But Liz, what's the preferred for you then? What's the preferred way to enjoy? Are you slicing it up with breakfast? Are you a sandwich chick? Like, what are we doing with this bread?
Tuna melt.
Well, Nick was making patty melts with it. and I was doing the Miyoko butter with the Manuka honey. Toasting it, and then the Miyoko butter. and then
Miyoko
the
butter with the Manuka honey. I mean, it's unfortunate that I know what all of that stuff is a lot, but I think that could sound alien.
UMF 24. UMF 24.
What is okay? I know what Manuka honey is.
So that's a vegan butter, right?
Yeah, Miyoko. Yeah, vegan butter.
Okay,
but I'm not entirely vegetarian.
The Miyoko butter kind of looks like the Mykonos feta brand. You know, I at least in I compartmentalize those words in my mind. So look for the butter that appears Greekish, even though it's not at all.
The Greek-ish butter. So you're this would, but what? Okay.
Well, I have one question.
I'm
Liz.
stunned by these revelations.
Yeah. So for the tour, we're adding a song to Guyville called "You Need It." Right?
No, you're not doing that. No, hell no.
Oh wow, need with the K.
I'm vetoing.
Okay.
I'm in charge now. That's not making the set list.
Okay, Elizabeth, you need to tell me.
Oh shit! I hear my mother.
Why you're punishing you work so hard. You've come so far in your life. Why are we eating cottage cheese bread with vegan butter?
Yeah, what happened to you?
You deserve something. You know,
a steak. A steak?
No, just regular butter. You know what I mean?
Regular butter tastes kind of gamey to me now.
Huh.
I thought you were going to say gay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, regular butter tastes gay.
No? A little gamey.
Okay.
Gamey. It's a little bit...
You say it like it's a bad thing.
It's got a funk.
Weird.
No. If you're in the mood.
Do you eat meat? Will you eat a steak?
I do. I will eat a steak. I try to ethically balance it from the idea, like, I didn't buy shoes the other day because they were lambskin. I'm like, nope. But every once in a while throughout the year, I know that as a wild human, I would go after an animal. I would go hunting. I would get hungry enough that I would like, but it doesn't have to happen that often. But occasionally, yes.
So you're saying when you you hit the steakhouse when you're feeling primal and you give into that urge, you feed that need because we're all animals.
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
It's not every day that you have this crippling bloodlust, but it will pop up quarterly, maybe.
Yes.
What? Okay. Okay. I mean, I think that seems pretty healthy because I think most people, like, I haven't eaten meat since I was in high school. And I want to, I know it's good for me, but I don't get the lust because it's been so long. So I need to I need to figure out what it's going to take for me to kind of dig in.
He's barren. His taste buds are barren.
Why do you need to? I mean, you don't need to.
I feel like it honestly would be good for my health. Not mental, that's out the window, but physical.
You look very healthy.
Oh, well, wow, thank you, Liz. I appreciate that.
You guys want to talk to Dr. Clark. I see. Okay, so tell me what your symptoms are.
Dr. Clark. All right.
Dr. Clark, medicine woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a little bit of a doctor, maybe, or just the dark arts? Are we talking medical? Are we talking spiritual? What are you an expert in?
I think I grew up with so many doctors in the family that I decided to skip the medical school, just go straight to prescription.
Straight.
You know, like
straight to prescription. Yeah, I went straight to prescriptions too, but that's a whole nother podcast.
From high school straight into the pros.
Yeah. I don't think that, but do you think that you know better than other people? You can be honest with us. This is a safe space.
Sometimes. I'll tell you this. I knew everything that was going to happen with the pandemic in February of 2020.
All right, Fauci, relax.
Call me Fauci because we needed masks right away, and all the SARS studies from Asia said so. Even pathetic cloth masks would have helped.
This is now the Joe Rogan podcast. We have RFK on the show today.
Where are the SARS documents? Are those coming from inside, like doctor sources, or are those Googleable for the rest of us?
They were Googleable, and now they are not Googleable.
Okay. All right, Liz, you're starting.
I think those were in some of those emails that Hillary has. Am I right?
Exactly. This sounds like Are you a little bit of a conspiracy theorist? Because Jason's a little bit of a conspiracy
Yeah.
theorist.
A little bit.
A healthy amount.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think it's healthy. Healthy. I think it's a healthy amount.
You know, speaking of Joe Rogan, I told him this is my future science. I don't think it's like conspiracy. I think it's just science we haven't proven yet.
What do you mean you told Joe Rogan that?
Were you on the show?
He liked that. He used future science in another episode, so he dug it.
Wait, are you guys friends or were you on the show?
I was on the show like in 2018.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah. That shocks you?
It's not the most shocking thing I've ever heard in the world, but you're not
it's pretty high up there.
necessarily
I didn't call him up. I didn't go like, "Hey, Joe Rogan, have me." Like, I don't know how these things happen. You have press people.
Sure.
I mean, I also did a Fox News segment for my book, and I was like, "Wait, we're going where?" She's like, "Didn't you read your call sheet?" I'm like, "No."
I definitely
I'm
did.
like going to the dark star, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
All right, it's Tucker Carlson. I'm here with Liz Phair. Talk about
the
her
Fox
new book.
News appearance probably moved more books than anything else you did, unfortunately. But that's another convo.
Oh god. They had a nice green room.
All I'm saying. Well, I think I don't think Joe Rogan has anybody on his pod that he isn't a fan of or wants to have on. So he must have already been aware of you and wanted to have you on, right?
I think his engineer knew about me.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
So you went to was this this is LA though. This is before the Austin thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because I've heard some funny stories about going to Austin because it's in like a strip mall. And it's just like a funny, weird studio built in like a strip mall, and you have to. It's like 30 minutes outside of town, kind of thing.
Did your family like get awkward during Thanksgiving after you appeared on Joe Rogan, or was everyone else on board and okay?
Was everyone
with it?
cool with it?
Can you imagine being my parents? Go back to 1993 and Guyville coming out.
No, I
like,
can't.
So I don't think that Joe Rogan even
Nothing.
blipped. Like, I don't think there was even
That's not even a blip on the radar.
Not even a blip on the radar.
My parents have been dealing with my bullshit for a long time.
Right.
They gave up. They don't
Right.
listen anymore. They don't care about this anymore.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Whatever Rogan is saying is like the Hallmark Channel to them.
They don't care about that. Do you live in LA or do you live in New York?
I do live in LA.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But
okay.
I did live in New York. I lived on 13th Street between A and B.
Oh, my old stomping grounds. I was on 4th and A for a very long time.
Nice.
Do you miss
Nice.
it, or do you think New York's cooked?
No, man, it was great. My apartment looked out, or I had a room in it. It was actually Greta's apartment. Looked out over the courtyard of St. Mark's, so like that was pretty. That was nice. It was
Thurnberg?
Yeah, you and Greta Thunberg
Greta
shared a
Thunberg. Yeah, no, she was two. No, she didn't exist.
She wasn't.
She was a spirit.
She was a spirit. She was merely an idea at the time. It was merely
She was a twinkle in her eyes.
Wasn't even old enough to get into the all ages show.
Dude, I have to say about Greta, like Thunberg, she's right.
Well, when you say she's right, do you mean
Okay,
everything
yeah,
she
what do you
says
mean?
or her main
Okay, I've
synopsis?
started. Let's go into the conspiracy theory. This isn't really part of it, but it's
Please.
part of my weirdness. I am studying storm structure because I think that climate change is going to increase the severity of storms.
Definitely, I would agree
And
with that.
the more I study storm structure, the more I realize that Earth is essentially a balanced system, and that what's really going to kill us is imbalancing it. And once it becomes chaos rather than order, we're fucked. So like when she sees planets that have a chaotic or uninhabitable atmosphere, she's thinking, which I am now thinking, if we fuck this up, it's just going to be storms everywhere and no stability. So she's right to be terrified. She's just looking out really far in the future.
Okay.
I find her pretty annoying, but I don't think she's wrong. Her delivery isn't great for me personally, but now that you're saying this, I do think that because I really hate the rain, like it really affects my mood. It affects my mood. And if it rains all the time, I'd rather not be here. Honestly, if the storms are that bad, I say, God, take me.
Take me
'Cause
away.
I can't.
Wait, what's frightening is that you're worried about rain. Like that's the
Well,
least of it.
Yeah, wind. I just feel like rain
In Liz's dystopian world, rain will be the only solace that comes, Chris.
Right.
that's how we get
Yeah.
drinking water. I'm going to be out there sticking my tongue out. Well,
Okay.
I guess that when I think of a storm, I think of rain first because it's my enemy, and then all of the accoutrement like wind, all the stuff that lightning,
all the side dishes.
All the side dishes that come with the rain steak. To put it in terms you understand, Liz. So that's what I'm saying.
Enya
that's what I
come
mean.
with
I think
that?
rain.
Like what music comes with the rain? What music do you put on when it rains to just really feel it?
Oh.
Do you get a blanket? Do you like crawl under the covers and
My Bloody Valentine, maybe?
Yeah, I would probably
My
listen
Bloody
to like Red
Valentine.
House Painters.
Okay.
Red House Painters
Yeah.
or like My Bloody something like
Yeah.
that probably. But I guess I don't listen to music like that. I don't like have like mood music really.
Oh.
But maybe I should, and maybe I could learn to love rain if I was equating it with positive kind of tunes.
you probably heard like I can't stand the rain. And then you're like, nah, I can't either.
I'm not doing a call and response. I cannot. Well, because Jason lives in LA. I live in LA sometimes.
Oh, true.
And it's been so overcast. How are you dealing with the overcast? Because I see this room you're in is painted a very electric hue of green, which I feel like keeps your mood up. That's
does.
part of the
It
appeal.
does. Yeah,
like
but I'm
like a
also-
yellowish.
I'm also doing 75 hard right now, so I have to get outside. So that helps. Like if you get out
What's
there.
75 hard?
75 hard.
It's this app.
I don't even want to. You
don't wanna know?
No, I do want to know. That could just go so many places. It sounds like a workout.
Yeah, like is it like a restaurant in Studio City? Is it an app? Is it a cruising
What else
app?
could
That
it
could
be?
It sounds like
75
another gay
hard.
app. It sounds like another an app for gay guys.
Or that could be it sounds like a weather forecast from one of your future storms.
I have one.
You're like it's 75 degrees and it's very hard. Life is very hard now because of the storm.
75%.
So what is this app?
You have to do 2 workouts a day for 45 minutes, one outside, one inside.
Damn.
Presumably.
Uh-oh.
And then you have to read 10 pages of nonfiction. You can take any diet you want, but you have to stick to it, and then water.
Wow. This sounds right up my alley. Okay. Let's walk through a day then. What are the workouts? You got to do 2 workouts. You do one in the morning.
Also, why are you doing this? Is clearly a man's workout. Why are you doing this man's workout? This is a workout that only like bros do.
Yeah, are you?
All right, I need to find a way to read nonfiction.
Because I live in America and I have long adjusted to taking like rules and regulations for men and adapting them for women. So what I do with that 2 hard workout, and there's like this big Ajax looking bro guy on the like, did you complete it? Did you complete it?
Did you read today,
Go
pussy?
cheat
Did you read
yourself."
today, pussy?
Yeah, like
Did you read your 10 pages of nonfiction,
So,
loser?
No fiction ever.
Why? Yeah, why is
get
it?
your head out of that fantasy. Get with reality.
Why is I want to start at the beginning. So tell us what the workouts are, because you get to choose those, or they prescribe them to you via app.
No, you can choose it. It's very simple. That's what I like about it. I interpret it for my
Okay.
own needs, but I have this Ajax looking guy going like, "Did you do it?" And I like that.
Okay, so it's
That
accountability. So are you running? Are you doing Pilates? Are you doing weight training? What are the workouts?
No, I don't make anything an ordeal. I figure if I'm moving around that much, it's all good. So I'll go for like a walk,
Okay.
right? That's my big outdoor workout.
Okay.
But I see people, I meet dogs,
Sure.
I'm totally losing weight. I like listening to shit.
I'm totally losing weight. Okay. I know you guys don't believe me. I'm totally
But
losing
it
weight.
has other benefits. It has other benefits. It's like improving my life for all these different reasons. And then I'll either do yoga or I'll like sit on my weird wobble board.
Yeah,
Do you have a
You're a
board
wobble
thing?
board person?
I wobble.
I just don't want anything to be, nothing can be an ordeal.
So you
Everything
don't
has
go
to
to
be
you don't go to a
enjoyable.
gym, you don't have a trainer, you
Hell
don't do any
no.
of that.
Good luck wrangling me.
Hell no,
So
loser.
you're just at home, you're doing your thing, and then
I'm
you're
just
drinking.
puttering around doing my 75 hard, and then the guy's like, "Did you do it?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did." And then I go.
Okay, so now when you're trying to do the 75 hard outdoor workouts that are also good for your mental health as well, you get to see the doggies. It hasn't had sunshine since late 2022.
Yeah.
Are you getting the proper UV morning light that's adjusting your circadian rhythms?
Okay, here we're gonna stay in the conspiracy lane. This
Mhm.
freaks me out because my total body, I put sunscreen on and everything, right? There's only a
Mhm.
little bit that's uncovered, right? But my
She's thought of
whole
all of it,
body,
Jason. She's thought of all
check
of it.
this out. My whole body is getting tan underneath my clothes. What the fuck is going on? Like, why?
All right. So you think
But is that bad? Are you
I
getting
don't
too
know.
tan?
I don't know.
I don't
but
know.
I'm tan and looking fit. So
okay?
no complaints.
So,
But
all right.
something is cooking me, and I don't know what's cooking me.
Damn, this is really okay. So just like your
yeah.
bread,
it's our,
you're
it's our
coming out
ozone layer.
a little brown on
Coming
top.
out brown, but all over.
Okay.
It's like it's getting under my clothes.
But I want to be clear. So let's just make it very clear. When you're outside exercising, you are clothed, like you're
Yes.
wearing clothing.
Yeah.
But you're saying you slather on the SPF before you go out, and somehow, some way, God is still touching you with His beautiful
Yeah.
sun.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. You said you live in LA. Do you mean Palm Springs though?
Yeah. What are we going? Yeah.
Where is all this sun coming from that's blasting? That's that's air frying you.
Is there a part of LA that's situated on the equator that Jason and I don't know about, or is this
I
just?
Send me
don't
your
know.
coordinates, Queen.
Yeah, drop a
I
pin. Drop a pin.
Drop a pin, baby.
Because I would love to be tan and beautiful, and it's obviously we're not getting the same sun exposure as you, and we live in the same place. It doesn't. Do you think you're special? Maybe. Do you think that this is like maybe some of your internal body chemistry or some of your supplements kind of working? Do you take hella supplements, or are you trying to keep it more natural?
I take Fatty, that new
Oh yeah, Fatty 15. Use
Fatty
our code at
15.
checkout.
I take
yeah,
Fatty
yeah. No, I'm just
15.
kidding.
Oh, you got oh.
No, I'm joking. Our friend Pia does though. What is that supposed to do?
It's a better omega-3.
Oh, it's omega 3. Okay.
Omega-3.
It's like fish oil, right? Is that the
I
idea?
don't know. I
Hello,
don't know.
Fatty 15.
It's an
I'm
Instagram.
Fatty 15.
So all right. So it sounds like you're very influenced by Instagram ads, and I'd like to get into some of the purchases you've made. 'cause
Liz,
so far,
you need to stop hanging out with your teenage children. They're influencing you too hard.
her son, your son's not even a teenager. Your son's like in his 20s, isn't he?
He doesn't do any of that. He doesn't care about any of that. He's very political. He's very we can't talk about politics because we'll get into like a thing.
Oh.
And he's not. But he's
Okay.
not on Instagram. He's not doing that. Wow.
Well, if there are Instagram tends to be where the really beautiful people go. So I figure if I want to get really
Thank
beautiful,
you. I do have an account. You can follow me back anytime.
I
Let me
should
know.
go there.
If you want to see beauty,
they do nothing but work out. Like as far as I can tell.
so you're
Okay.
saying everybody on Instagram is hot, so I should be there too, is what you're saying.
No, if I want to get hot, I should go to where the hot people are and do what they do.
This is
Dress for the
Honestly,
job
this
you
is
want,
the-
not the job you have.
right.
exactly.
You want to be the worst house on the best block.
Yeah, smallest
Okay,
room with the
so,
nicest hotel.
Where was your son on January 6th, Liz?
Oh shit! Probably duck and covering. I don't know.
So what part of LA are you in? You don't have to give us the exacts, but
I'm in a very, very sunny part of LA that's very near the ocean.
okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
Very
That tracks for you because I'm in WeHo and Jason's in Glendale, so we don't get that. That
Okay.
may be that literally might be our problem. We might have just uncovered the problem that easily.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in LA?
23 years.
Oh, so you like it, or do you hate it but just live there?
No, I love it. And there was a point at which before Trump, I started to feel disenchanted and I was very grumbly about it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to leave. I'm going, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as Trump was elected, that was so horrifying and terrifying to me that the firewall of California felt extremely important. You know?
It felt valuable.
valuable.
Because where are you going to go? Where would you go if you didn't live in LA? Like dream scenario, based on what you do for a living and your daily lifestyle. Where could you do that?
San Andreas, like split up and become an island. I could do that.
Oh, so okay,
no.
okay.
Like
so-
if it's not New York, Chicago, LA, or London,
Uh-huh.
I don't know where I'd do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
that sounds pretty good, except for Chicago. I'm with you. That's a good lineup.
yeah.
But
No
I
offense.
feel like there's parts of Europe where you get a lot of action, right?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, where do you live and work? The language.
Primavera
I guess.
festival
I mean,
or something?
I could
Yeah,
bring out
sure.
the
Yeah.
high school French for Paris. I could. I think that my sexual persona, like the blue lyrics in my music could work for them, and the fact that I'm maybe slightly of a
blue
certain
lyrics
age,
in my music,
and that I still want to sing the blue, that I could do that in Paris. I feel like they'd understand.
Because you're saying
and they love
the Parisians,
the bread.
Yeah, they love the bread.
Yeah, but they would respect you. You're saying they would respect and maybe fall victim to your charms.
I think I'd have a better shot of being charming in Paris than maybe charming in Berlin.
Well, I mean, charming in Berlin is impossible. I mean, they don't take to that. That's not really their vibe.
With that. Yeah,
no. That's not really their vibe. Are you excited to hit the road, or are you like, damn, here we go again? Me?
No, I'm really excited to hit the road. This is a very particular tour with a very special meaning to me. So yeah, I'm very excited.
I mean, so touring after all these years, you can still find the joy in it.
You're not going to get me saying living on a bus is fun. That's not fun. There's nothing fun about that. But the people that I work with are great.
Quick bus question. I'm sure the band's great. Back lounge, is that your master bedroom, or is that where guys play video games?
That's my master bedroom.
Okay, good answer. Because we've talked to a lot of musicians on the show. We have a lot of musician friends. Some of them claim that the bunk is more comfortable and they prefer it. And I just think that's a lie.
I'm not a very deep sleeper. I could not. I've tried a bunk on a long drive when I wasn't I wasn't set up. Like, we just took a bus for a long drive. And I literally cry in the bunk. I just lie there and cry. So, no.
You sound like me. If I have to be in a car for over an hour, I just can't handle it.
Yeah, that's a no.
I can't. I've only slept in a bus one time when I managed a band, and I woke up and threw up the whole way home.
Dude.
And I was like, I'm never doing this again. And that's why now when we do live shows, I fly private, of course. That's kind of the only way. You know that, Liz. I mean, you know how it is. You know how it is. It's like No, I'm kidding. I fly commercial just like the rest of you losers. But I think that I also heard about a band recently who is doing something where they fly to every show and they just have a guy that drives the gear to meet them. That sounds pretty good too, and something maybe you should look into.
We've already done it. We have done it. That's actually
you've done that.
Yeah, normally we've done a ton of fly tours where everybody flies except for the people driving the equipment, or we rent it everywhere. We've done lots of different things. Like,
rent it everywhere? That seems insane.
It was insane. It did work for a short run, but it was very spotty. Very spotty. There were many times
Liz, how was the tour? It was spotty. It was spotty just for a handful of reasons. It was pretty spotty.
Sometimes
overall.
we had drums, sometimes we didn't.
Exactly. Right. We didn't have a snare in St. Louis, but it was a Tuesday, so we were able to wing it.
You have seen. I mean, there was a time I played a Perez Hilton showcase in Austin and all the equipment, like the band before us. Something happened with they had European plugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The electricity blew completely and fried all of our equipment right before the show. So my lead guitarist came back and he's like, Liz, there's no electricity and all of our amps are blown. And I'm like, what?
And Perez is pissed.
Yeah, not Perez Hilton. Of all the people
it was a big showcase, and we borrowed it from the other bands. Like, musicians will do that kind of shit because it's so crazy on the road. It's such a wagon train out there. I always thought there should be a band traffic controller in the US being like, we've got Green Day over here. We can't have, someone to control all of these.
Keep the traffic moving. That's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Right?
I'm sure Billy Joe and the guys
Green Day and
would really
the
appreciate
Foo Fighters might have a collision over Boulder.
Exactly.
And we can't risk that.
Exactly.
We can't risk that. These guys got to play tonight.
We like Chris said before, we have a lot of musicians on, and we've had a lot of, kind of contemporary indie artists who may or may not sound like you or be influenced by you. How does that make you feel, hearing bands, not exactly copycatting you, but drawing a lot of influence from your music from back in the day?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, to be someone who, when I was first starting out, would go out into the music business or the music world, and it would be all men, to now when I go out, it's, 60% women. It's changed.
Damn, it's like you've seen into my iTunes.
Yeah.
It really is 60% women.
Well, I mean, behind the scenes and in front and behind and in front of the microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we're learning now that
True.
all the men in the music industry I've had a theory that they care more about college football than music. And female people in the business seem to love music much more than men do. And it's a passionate, emotional art form, so why not?
Damn, Jason, you have that's a really good point. Yeah, especially during the 2000s, I guess,
because if you're a music nerd as a bro,
it.
Nobody wants to have sex with you. But if you're a music nerd as a girl, everyone's like, "Oh shit, I think I'm in love."
I had sex with them.
Liz would have sex with you. Don't worry, guys.
No, babe, I love college football too. Let's watch.
There's 7 different pitchfork riders who just got 75% hard right now.
Yeah, they're like, wait, I have a chance. I thought my minor league baseball season tickets wouldn't work.
That was a good wrap around. You included that. That was perfect.
Okay, but so you like it? You think it's good? Have you ever just randomly listened to, or do you have friends send you like a Spotify link, be like, "Yo, check this out. This sounds just like you."
Oh yeah,
Has that ever happened?
You mean like sound like people? Yes, all the time. People are like, "Oh, this
Who are
girl
some of those
was
bands?
I don't know. I don't keep. I don't have that kind of proprietary like. How dare you?
Yeah.
So I'm
Sure.
I'm down. I'm so down.
I think that's a much healthier, because in today's society overall, I feel like there's a lot of like they ripped me off culture, like everybody pointing fingers and like this is that, and it's just kind of like, man, I don't mean to shit on anyone here, but nothing's original. Like it's all good, guys. Like it's also like if I'm referencing something that's 20 years old, 30 years old, that belongs to the ether. At that point, that belongs to the world.
Yeah. Art builds on the shoulders of art. Like there's only so many notes that a human voice can sing, and if you want to be entirely original, no one's going to want to listen to it. Like fact.
And I guess if the original band was that good, then you shouldn't be able to duplicate that. Like everyone, there's been a million bands that try to sound like the Beatles. Nobody's ever come close. But to bring up My Bloody Valentine, there's probably like 75 like random kids bands all over the world, and they sound exactly like My Bloody Valentine because there's like websites about how to get their guitar tone, and you just go
yeah, there's people dedicated to amp settings
all
so
that
you can make it that loud.
I think there is certain situations where you're like, all right guys, come on, like this sounds literally exactly like Slow Dive or whatever.
Jason, you're coming in here like a fucking cop. You sound like Marvin Gaye's family. You gotta chill.
I mean, there's a difference between actually intending to like take their thunder and for yourself, which I think of in the commercial area, like jingly area, like sound-alikes and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go after someone if they were trying to do that to me, but I just don't sense that being the vast majority of these things. Like the vast majority is just so what? So now My Bloody Valentine has created a genre. That's how I would look at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. But to me, I guess if you look at it as a genre, to me, if you're like literally trying to make a facsimile of this band, sort of like what is the point of your artistic output? It's just it's like when I'm a professional impersonator, like a Michael Jackson guy on Hollywood Boulevard or something.
I'm not going to that show.
You're like, I'm all set on the Michael Jackson impersonator right now. I'm all good on that. I did want to talk about the book a little bit because I did read it. And I
did you?
Yeah, I got a signed copy. I pre-ordered from Barnes and Noble.
So you're the one.
Nice.
Okay, look, read. Some people might call it a skim. I call it a read. Okay, don't attack me. I'm a strong reader.
But Liz, just so you know, Chris is a very big fan.
Yeah, long time fan.
I can't wait to hear what was retained.
Oh, not much. I had to touch up today. Not much. I don't even smoke weed. That's the fucked up part. I just think that I thought the book was really. I liked the kind of way it was written, like the style in which it was written, where it jumps around a little bit, and each chapter is kind of its own moment. But I think that I guess the process of that in general, because I've talked to people who've written memoirs before, and their takeaway from it was kind of like, if you like your life, don't do this. Like it will It's going to.
Man.
I mean, they're joking, but they're like, it's going to upset people. Like, you have to be honest. You have to. That's the whole point. That's why you're doing it. That's satisfying as an artist. It's also why they're paying you the money, is because you got to leave it all on the table. And that's just a really difficult thing to do. And I'm sure you went through some of that during the process.
Yeah, I got in trouble with a couple of friends. One was
Did you send it to them first, and they were like, nah.
I didn't. I talked to most people. I talked to most people beforehand, but there was one that I thought I had covered up more the identity. And actually, at the end of the process, I'd done so many edits. I think I didn't, and I was on tour at the end.
Yeah.
The older version that wasn't as covered for her identity got in there, and that was a big problem. That was a big mistake. But
slipped through the cracks.
Like
you had to call kind of hat in hand and be like, look, like,
yeah, and I had to try to fix the chat, like get the newer one put in, which we did. We did it all, and it didn't end up causing any damage, but like it was a bad.
We got her a signed copy sent over to the house. It's all
but
good.
Then my other friend was pissed because I'd called her like dress a different material. She's like, it was silk. It was silk shantung. It was not whatever.
This is the kind of friends I have. This is the kind of friends I have.
What kind of editors do you have?
Shantung.
Yeah, they're like, look, yeah, we did coke those 3 nights together, absolutely, but you got the fucking dress wrong, and I'm not going to stand for that. This is bullshit. Like, that's all fine, but this is not okay. I mean, I think that the memoir genre, especially of people that we know and love, is like I read the what's his name from Friends, Matthew Perry.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't care about Matthew Perry. I didn't like Friends, but I was a pill addict, so I'm interested in this because we have that commonality. And then I read it, and I'm just like, this guy's too rich. Nothing ever happens. Like, you know what I mean? He's so rich. He just kind of like goes to rehab. He's still rich. He goes to rehab again. He's still rich. It's like nothing. There's not that much.
No consequences.
There's not really any consequences.
I hit a guy with my car today. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
I mean, his colon exploded from taking too many painkillers, which is pretty amazing. You know, that's a feat that many have not accomplished. But I guess what I'm saying is that I've read a lot of these books because I like those genres, specifically when there's addiction involved, because I feel like that's like when people really lay it all to bear, you know. But I felt like there was like a level of honesty that felt kind of like matter of fact, I think, which is feels like that's who you are, but that's probably what you were trying to accomplish as well.
Yes, very much so. Like, I mean, we're all kind of taking this ride together. We're all living a life, and it's pretty damn short. So I think you can be in the society where reality is what society tells you, and then you can pull back out at different moments, you know, and be like, wait a minute, this is all arbitrary. These are rules that solved one problem a long time ago, et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to stand both in it and like above it and be like, well, these are the, and the other point about the book was there was a lot of horror genre going on in America, and it was all like bloody and violent and big. And I'm like, really? Horror to me is like the Sartre-esque nausea type, where it's the everyday shit that you have to sit with and live with and tell yourself not to think about at night, you know?
No, I agree with you. That definitely haunts me more than like a ghost or like a guy with a knife.
Yeah.
That's like
more than a jump scare.
Yeah, it's more realistic.
Well, Liz, when you said the one part of you likes to look above it, what drugs do you take, or did you take, to sort of get that bird's eye view?
I didn't write on any substance. Like, I wish I could. I've tried so many times to do that, and it isn't good.
It's good for a first draft. Do some mushrooms and get the idea down, and then
I just want to get it out.
Get it out.
I thought that was part and parcel of being a writer, that you could take your substance of choice and just get into it, but that doesn't work. But anywho, like, if I do any drug, it's usually edible cannabis. You know, that's like my perennial go-to, I suppose, since early 20s.
Perennial.
Alcohol, I will definitely drink at certain moments.
Okay.
Like, and if you open up something special, but general alcohol doesn't metabolize for me well. It's like, do you want a white headache or a red headache? And that's
you've had to do some research, but you figured out that doesn't work for you.
It doesn't work so well. No.
I'm an edible girl as well. Welcome home,
you
honey.
are?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
just the
now
best.
back in the day, were you going super hard because everyone was, or was it pretty mellow on the bus?
Oh, on the bus? No, I never party on tour really, except it was like the end of a leg. I always go out the last night,
Yeah.
but I can't. I'm the singer. No can do.
Voice. Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
like a super.
That's that. Yeah, historically that hasn't stopped most singers, but I appreciate that.
I'm
That's
not a
kind of
natural.
your.
I'm a
your
songwriter.
reasoning.
I'm a writer at heart. Like the extra stuff, the performance is like an add-on. That's a bonus, like thing I've learned how to do.
Okay, we're lucky. We're lucky to have it. I understand what you mean. Okay, we're lucky to have it.
I'm like on my tiptoes with my nose above water, trying to get this stuff out. So like, there's no room for partying on tour. But wait, what was the question? Am I raging? I thought you were talking about early 20s when I thought I was a hard ass. And yes, I would order
going
whiskey
crazy.
straight, and I was smoking Camels, filterless. And
Filterless Camels and straight whiskey.
I know.
So this is at your peak partying zone.
22 to 25.
Wow, my peak partying zone was a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice window. Like, what are you, 3 years in your early 20s? Like, wow, you really.
But you can always go back to it, because now my father taught me moderation in all things, including moderation. So every once in a while during the year, I think of it as like absolutely mandatory to my mental health to go out and party hard.
Okay.
Occasionally.
That's yeah. You seem
that.
like you seem like you've got it figured out in some ways for sure. That
So,
seems like a reasonable
Thank you.
approach.
When you now in your life in 2023 go have a night where you party hard, are you like going to a friend's house? Are you guys doing like an organized like drug party thing? Are you going to a bar, a club? What's going on?
Always private houses and very civilized, but yes.
That's a good answer, and that's what I would hope, because I think that like, yeah, I feel like going out is not it. You can't really do that anymore.
Not really.
Like I mean, you definitely can't, but like most,
It's crazy.
Like most people can't. Like you can't do that unless you're in your early 20s. Is the reality.
Yeah.
Like it kind of has to be, especially when you got friends with nice houses. It's like, I'd rather be in the house than this nasty shit.
Yeah, you kind of just like find out whoever has
The
like,
nicest house.
the best house, whoever has the best house to party in.
Yeah.
And like I'll get the wine, I'll get the food, you get the Molly. We all come together.
How is that
Done
different
deal.
from
What
high
if we
school?
smoke a
How is
cigarette?
that different from high school? It's exactly high school.
The parents are the ones partying, not the ones going out of town. That's the difference. That's the major.
Right.
I think that's the major difference.
I get no. The one difference is at the end of the night you don't sleep over.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the couch. You probably like, okay, I'm gonna go home now.
Well,
and into my bed.
sometimes you do. Sometimes you
I'll hit
do.
I'll hit the guest room on the bottom floor. I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, Chris will be like, "Take the Ambien now," and I'll be like, "Okay."
Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice. It's good advice.
Well, speaking of partying and stuff, we have certain guests on. We'll ask this question. You can answer it if you want to, or you don't have to. Top 3 prescription pills of all time.
I'm not a prescription pill person. I don't have it for you.
You just named one. You just said Ambien. So that's
Yeah, but
one.
I don't really like that. Is a special occasion that I didn't have.
Special occasion.
That was
the real thing we do with musicians though is we talk about syncs and some that you've like what you've made the most money doing, and maybe some that you've regretted after the fact, because especially for someone like you, selling out existed for you and selling out does not exist anymore. So I feel like you probably made some decisions you wish you wouldn't have made with a little bit of hindsight. But if there's
or some that you're glad that you did make.
yeah, is there a commercial? Is there a, movie trailer? Something that really, really got the, put the 911 in the garage?
the what? The 911 in the garage was like,
Or that 911'd your garage.
it just took a second. 911 doesn't go right to Porsche for me. So, okay. I don't know. This is a hard one. This is not the easy softball this is not the easy softball that you thought it would be, because generally speaking, I approve every license and I check the show.
Yeah.
So I try to make good calls on that, and I think I've done a pretty good job.
Okay.
there was no horrible sellout moment where I'm like, why did I do that? I know why I did all the things that I did.
You're like, no, that's good. We've just had people tell us some funny stories of like, yeah, I did Airbnb Australia for $500,000. It was fucking crazy. And then other people being like, I turned down KFC for $250,000 and now I could give a shit. I should have done it.
No, dude, no, honest to God. Like, there's been some that are worse than others, but nothing like that. Like, I've turned away
That's
big
good.
money. I just did it recently. Like, I won't take it if I don't
Damn.
think it's halfway decent.
That's great.
And if I'm wrong, then it's like, oh well, I did my homework.
Okay. And I mean, that is great. I feel like I would be like we do a lot of advertising on the podcast, obviously, and part of it is that we're kind of making fun of it, and that's okay. That's like what a brand likes. But when it's your music put into their creative, it's not. You can't really put a twist on it. It's not up to you. This is your. This is your 30 seconds.
They're gonna put a twist on it, and you're not gonna like the twist.
They're gonna put a twist, and maybe that's not the twist you wanted.
Yeah,
that's not the twist you wanted.
I think there's always that tension of people trying to sell you,
yeah,
as a product. And then you're always going, but that's not me. And they're like, nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely that's definitely true. That's definitely
you're not
true.
a product, but yet you have a price tag. So
right.
We all.
And then
do.
you're like, I have to protect my special brand. They're like, your special brand. Like, so like, there's how to do business and there's how to make art, and never the twain shall meet.
That's good. That's good advice too. So when
well put, Liz.
When does this this tour starts? This is the 30th anniversary, correct?
30th.
20th.
Take it in.
Oh, 20. Is it 20? Is it the 20th or 30th? It's
30th.
It's the 30th.
30th.
I'm just trying to flirt. Sorry.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I know.
It's actually the 10th. Don't I look amazing? It was. I remember it so.
Can you
well.
believe
it's so
or
fun?
it's already been 10 years since the 90s? So random.
This is so
Y'all,
sick.
I feel old.
Wait, how come the 90s is back?
Because it's been long. It's been long enough. It's been long enough.
Do you think it's because it was the first beginning? Like, is it the last time that there was an internet? Or is it the first time that there was?
Good question. I think last time.
I think that you're overthinking it. It's just a cyclical thing. I think it's just like in the 90s we were, it was the 60s, and then it just keeps going.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. I think the internet has changed that equation. I don't know how.
It's very possible, but also now the early 2000s have become the coolest thing.
But I feel like they've done that a couple times, right? Haven't
they have? Yeah, they have.
Well, I guess since the 90s are back and they are in full flux right now, we're striking while the iron is hot. The getting while the getting is good. This is where you authorize and approve everything, all the covers, all the syncs, all the clearances, all the Urban Outfitters vinyl represses.
I fucking try, dude.
I fucking try, dude.
Look, ever since they made a songbook, this is when I started paying attention. I was really famous. I was 26. We've just discussed what happens when that happens,
yes,
right?
Sure.
You're a complete asshole,
Yeah.
and that's true. So I wasn't paying any attention to what was being done with my output, right? Like how people were selling my stuff. And a songbook for Whip Smart came back. And I was like, yeah, I approve a songbook. Sounds great. Go do it. It came back, and the lyrics for Supernova, which are, your lips are sweet and slippery like a cherub's bare wet ass, right?
Sure.
A sweet little cherub.
Yes.
Well, in this songbook, printed forevermore and to be sold, we didn't recall them. It said, your lips are sweet and slippery like a sheriff's bare red ass. Sheriff, bare red.
So they
ass.
just kind of like listened and took a swing and like guessed on what the lyrics were when they like could have gotten them?
That image still haunts me. Like the idea of kissing a sheriff's bare red ass, and forevermore I was like, I will approve these things. I will read the fucking email. I will do all this.
You'll pay a little more attention maybe next time.
I'll pay a little more attention.
Before we wrap up, do you have any Evan Dando stories for us? Just firing a shot in the dark.
Yeah, we hung out in the day.
And by hung out, you mean as friends?
No, there was no romantic.
How could you resist?
I have weird taste in men. I like it either works or it doesn't work, and it's instant.
Go on.
I thought he was kind of a crowd pleaser in that time period.
He is a crowd pleaser. He's definitely a crowd pleaser. But for me, it's either on or off, and it's very, very quick, and it's very permanent.
Oh, okay. Well, so during that time frame, who would be somebody that ticks your box if Dando didn't?
In that time frame? God, you're looking. Okay, let's see. Come on.
Of all the alternative hotties out there.
Yeah, but you see what you're getting wrong is like I wasn't looking.
That's not your thing.
I wasn't looking at that. I did what they did. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Like, I would be more excited about an actor, or I would be more excited about a writer or a athlete. Like, I would not feel as that awe, that kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't get my knees knocking for someone that did what I did, really.
That's you.
Probably.
You're like, oh, you play guitar too? That's cool. Oh, we have
exactly.
Our hair's the same
whatever.
length. Can I borrow a rubber band?
So you're more of a Matthew Perry girl.
I know all their in fact, I was very interested to know how that book turned out because he seems like someone who could write. I would like, you know.
That's funny. But I guess that makes sense. It's like you kind of know, too much.
I know they're bullshit. It's like we have the same bullshit. That's not exciting.
Yeah,
like,
your tricks don't work on me because they're my tricks too.
Right. Don't you have to be a little bit like, it's like with Twilight where he couldn't read her mind. I thought that was a perfect metaphor because that's who intrigues you. You're like, I can't figure you out, but you're attractive.
That's
like
true.
That to me is catnip.
I mean,
damn. I hope all the incels are listening right now. There's a lot of great dating tips here.
God, no. Now I'm back. Now I'm seeing Star Trek when they go through the mind. No, Galaxy Quest when the mines are coming after them. Like Galaxy Quest are like going through the minefield and they're like, bing, 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 bing.
All
bing,
you
bing,
incels,
bing,
make
bing,
sure you
bing.
get your tickets. Liz Phair on tour. You go check her out. The shows are gonna sell out. Act fast, act fast. No, Liz, we really appreciate you joining us. And the exiling in Guyville.
I will be directing my incels toward your podcast.
Don't worry. They're already here, sweetie. Don't worry. Exile in Guyville 30th anniversary tour starts soon with actually friend of the show Blonde Shell opening. We're big fans of hers too. And no, we really appreciate you and thank you for the music for the year, for the many years. We've been enjoying it for a long time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Of course, we'll talk to you soon.
It was a treat.
Okay, have a great weekend.